Can you really take an electric vehicle on a long distance road trip? We've been road tripping across Europe in our Tesla Model Y, and after thousands of miles, we're finally sharing the truth. In this video, we stop at the Imst Tesla supercharger in Austria and discuss the reliability and accessibility of Tesla's supercharger network, how even non-Tesla EVs can use superchargers in Europe, and whether range anxiety is still a real concern. We want to know if you've taken your EV on a long road trip, so make sure to share your experience in the comments below. We are at our first supercharger stop en route to Como. I believe it's called Imst in Austria. We're still in Austria. We've got a 250 kilowatt charger here, so we're charging pretty quick. Probably going to try and charge as much as we can. How's the Pokeball?
Really
Good. Lecker?
good.
Lecker. I like the word lecker. We learned that. It's German for delicious. So yeah, beautiful sight. Look at the view of the Alps there. Fantastic. It's like, oh, look at this one as well. Clouds over there. It's reminds me of it's like a retail park that we would get at home. There's all sorts. There's you've got like Lidl. There's like a sports shop. There's fashion, like clothes shop, all sorts. So yeah, there's 4 supercharger stalls here, and then over here there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's like another 9 or 10 superchargers there. So one thing you might be asking is it was one of the questions that I thought people would be thinking when we did this trip is can you do a Euro trip in an EV, in an electric vehicle? Is it possible? Can you do it? How difficult is it? Does it take much longer? What's the whole spiel? So to cut a long story short, you can do it. You can do it easily. You can do it even more easily if you do have a Tesla. But as you'll have seen, and the reason for that is because you can use the full Tesla supercharger network. It says here Tesla supercharger, and that's what these are. These guys here, these are the Tesla superchargers. These are the fast chargers, rapid chargers. And as you'll have seen if you've watched some of the previous videos, there's actually a whole bunch of Tesla chargers that you can use even if you don't have a Tesla. So as you can see there, this Tesla supercharger in Münchberg is open to all electric vehicles. So you could have like a Polestar or like a Volvo or like Audi, a Renault. Yeah, I'll have more Pokeball. Rebecca, she's done. She's wanting to get sweet treats from this bakery here, which looks amazing, so we're going to grab some. But yeah, basically any EV, there's certain supercharger sites. I think it's roughly about half maybe in Europe, but don't quote me on that, but there is a lot of them that you can charge up at. So you don't have to have a Tesla. And really, in all honesty, the Tesla supercharger network is known for being one of the most vast charging networks in Europe and North America, even in the UK there's a lot, but they're very, very reliable. That's one of the issues people find with charging EVs on the road, especially when they're not using Tesla superchargers. The problem really is reliability. There's so many cases where people pull up to chargers and they need to charge and the chargers are broken. They're out of service. They don't know that they're out of service until they get there. So the supercharger network is fantastic. It will tell you on your Tesla app or on the screen in your car how many stalls each supercharger location has. So it's when I say stalls, like a charging stall, and then it will also tell you how many are available at that current time. It will tell you how many cars are en route to the charger as well, and then if the chargers are full, what it will do is it will cleverly actually tell you how long roughly you will need to wait in order to get a spot to charge up. Because what happens is you can't just leave your car parked there once it's charged. I mean, technically you could, but it's going to cost you money. You'll be charged idle fees. So Tesla will essentially charge you a penalty. They'll charge you an idle fee if you leave your car there after it's charged, after I think it's about 5 minutes. So say you've nipped to the toilet and you're kind of carried away, and then you realise, oh, the car's fully charged. You've got about 5 minutes to get there to move it before you get charged any idle fees. So it's a fantastic setup that they have. They've really nailed the charging network. And my brother-in-law, he also has a Model Y, a Tesla Model Y. And that's what he asked me. He says, how's the charging been? Have you only used Tesla superchargers? Have you had to use third-party chargers? Have you had to charge at the campsite using the electricity at the campsite? And essentially, all we've had to do is what we're doing right now. You take a pit stop when you're on your journey, charge up the car, go to the toilet, get some food, do a bit of shopping if you need to, and by the time you've done all of that, your car is ready to go, you're ready to get back on the road. So yeah, it's when you tell people like, oh yeah, you know, you'll need to stop and charge for like 15, maybe 10 minutes to 15 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how much charge you need. People are like, oh wow, oh that's such an inconvenience, because you can just pull up to, you know, a petrol station or a gas station, and within like 5 minutes you can get the fuel in, you can get it paid, and you can be back on the road. And that's fine, obviously, if you're like at home and you're doing day-to-day driving at home. But if you're on a road trip and you're driving for hours and hours on end, you're gonna need to stop. I mean, in all honesty, like I think we've done about 4 hours of driving without stopping, but like that gets kind of miserable. That last hour is kind of miserable. Really, ideally, you don't want to drive any longer than 3 hours without stopping to stretch your legs, you know, take a toilet break, get some food, hydrate. So yeah, it works perfectly in that sense. If you're on a road trip, like having to charge for 15 minutes or 30 minutes, it's actually needed. You really do need it. When we are at home, we're quite lucky because we do have a charger at home. So we just get home, we just plug it in every time we get home, and it'll just charge overnight. So we don't, it's even more convenient than going to a petrol station or gas station, because every single morning you wake up, you have a full charge. So to answer the question I've rambled on, can you do a road trip in an EV? Yes. Is it easier in a Tesla? Yes, because you can use the full supercharger network. Can you do it in another EV? Of course, without a doubt. And you can even use the Tesla supercharger network or some of the network with a non-Tesla EV. And there are also a lot of other third-party charging stations now that are actually becoming more and more reliable. So there's many options out there, but certainly, you know, if you've watched this series, you can see we've done it. It's certainly doable. And if you are considering buying an EV and that's putting you off, or if you already have an EV and you're thinking about doing a trip and it's putting you off, don't let it put you off, because it works perfectly. It's been seamless, been no issues at all. So enjoy your road trip in your EV. It certainly is doable. Don't listen to the naysayers. There's no reason why you can't do it. So now you know it's really possible to take an EV on a long distance road trip, but how can you follow our story from the very beginning? We've documented every single day of our European car camping road trip, so you can experience all of the highs and lows without having to risk it all yourself. Click here to watch day 1 of our adventure, where we drive 10 hours in a single day as we attempt to reach our first campsite before nightfall. As always, thanks for watching, we'll see you in the next one.